it very interesting when people say things like, she made me do it, or he made me do it, or I wouldn't have done it if they hadn't done that, and things like that. Because, is it really true? Can people make you do things that are not naturally, quote unquote, in your behavior? Just a thought. Of course, I'm going to first talk about it from a biblical lens. I'm currently reading First Samuel in my Bible in a Year reading, and I'm using a chronological Bible plan. Anyway, I'm in First Samuel, and recently I read in chapter 24 where Saul is pursuing David and he wants to kill him, and David has his chance to kill Saul, but he doesn't, and he goes on this speech about how he's never attempted to kill Saul, that why would he do such a thing, and on and on. And then he says this, as the old saying goes, from evil doers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you. So David is basically saying that you can't make me try to kill you. Even though you're trying to off me and take my life. But you can't make me do that. You can't provoke me into doing that, because it is not in my capacity. I can't do that. I am not evil. So I wouldn't do that. And yes, David still did some terrible things after, but that's not the point. I want to focus on that quote. There's someone who I follow, Lagos Housewife. I'm going to put the link to her Instagram in the show notes, on her YouTube as well. She says this thing that nobody can pull out of you what is not already in you. So when you say that, oh, you were rude to this person because they were rude to you, you weren't rude to them because they were rude to you. You were rude to them because you're rude. Like, accept that, right? And that's fine. No, it's not fine to be rude, but you get what I mean. So that is like where what I'm thinking about today. I'm going even a step further in our own personal lives, when we experience things, when people do things to us or say things to us, and we feel hurt, we feel upset, we feel angry, justifiably so. Even like, it is you, it's, if somebody's trying to off your off you and take your life, it's understandable for you to be angry at the person, like, oh, what did I do to you, right? Or if somebody's like constantly pushing at your buttons at the office or whatever, it's understandable to feel these emotions. But the difference, the thing that makes us who we are, is how we respond. And that is why I absolutely love this quote that I think is attributed to Viktor Frankl. I think that's his name. That something, it goes something like, in the space between stimulus and response, there's a space between when something happens and our response to it. And that space is where we choose who we want to be and how we want to act. Because I actually also don't think that anyone can make you do anything in the sense in which I'm talking about it on this episode. I mean, there are situations where people can make you do things, but in the sense of how you respond to people, I don't think that if someone is rude to you, that then means that you have to be rude to them. If someone offends you, that then means that you have to do something offensive to them. And you hear this a lot when, like, maybe you're telling your friends that, oh, somebody said this to you, and then they're like, I hope you said your own back, you did this, you did that. Which, I mean, like, ginger, energy, you want to fight. But should we respond that way? I don't think so. And it may be like, oh, but you're not a mugu now, you're not stupid, whatever. But it's fine. Like, it's not about whether somebody thinks that they can walk over me because I didn't shout at them, or I didn't, like, do my own back and all of those things. It's about, is that who I am? Is that how I want to navigate the world? Is that how I want to behave? Is that the behavior that is becoming of who I think of myself as? That is the important part of the question. Or that is the important question. There's definitely a part of all of us that wants to get the last word and wants to, show off and say that, oh no, I too can come up with creative insults. I too I have a sharp mouth. I too, I am witty. There's that part of us who wants to do that and, like, do one better than the other person and be more rude and more aggressive and more whatever, and all of those things. But really, is that the best, that is that the best of you? Is that how you want to show up in the world? I mean, sometimes it gets a lot, and then you know you're rude or whatever. But is that how you want to continue all the time, in that state of always wanting to respond back to everyone and be on top and establish dominance or whatever? Like, I don't get it. Why can't we, as Jesus said, turn the other cheek? And I know it sounds like, oh, I'm saying a hard thing, and I'm not saying that someone who is always every time 100% like turning the other cheek, but I'm just saying it's like, it's something that we should challenge ourselves to do better, to be better, to react better, to be in control of our own response and emotions. People can't make you respond to them in a certain way. People can do whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say, but they cannot make you behave in a certain way. You choose how you behave, and that part is in your control. And I think that we should do the best that we can to react to situations, to react to people in ways that are consistent with who we are. Especially if you're a Christian. Like, it doesn't make sense to me for you to be self-professing Christian and say that you are blood bought, spirit filled, and yet every time you're taking offense, you're shouting, you're angry, everything sets you off, you have road rage. Like, that's a situation where we need to sit down with Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God and say, help me, because it's not becoming, it's not appropriate. Like, if you wouldn't say it to Jesus, you shouldn't say it to someone else. That should be like the shorthand. And if you wouldn't say it about Jesus, you should say it about someone else. That should be like shorthand for our behavior as Christians. At least that's what I think. Bye. Here's your regular reminder that I am accepting questions for the podcast. So please submit a question through the link in the description or the show notes, and I will answer in a future episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things with Lade Tawag. If you enjoyed any part of this episode or found any part of it useful or insightful, please leave a comment if you can on your podcast listening app. Like, subscribe, all the nice things, and of course share with someone, anyone at all. Thank you. Bye.